Never dictate terms to your VC.
No?
Took away mine.
Just don't do it. You just did that. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, I will pick up 2 or 3 points. First of all, it's a classic example of presentation, which is a technology-oriented presentation, which for me is built upside down. I mean, it's focused on the product and not on the market pain, not on the market itself, the clients, the value propositions, and so on, all along the way. It's all about the product, and in the end, we are just, why for us as an investors, it's a good business. So that's the main thing. Another point that I would like to mention, it's you mentioned during the presentation that you choose the tag price of 79 because all the other products are in that area or below that. But it's a question of positioning. You can positioning your product as targeted for higher markets, and then attached to it a price tag of $500. It's an option. It's just a question of segmentation and positioning.
I'm going to talk about a more personal part of the presentation. When you were speaking, you were using words in 3 different things that sort of made me go, oh, you said if it is successful. You also said the physiotherapist would possibly sign. And the other thing you said, you hope to attain. So those are words that kind of make me sit up as an investor and go, those are real careful. You don't want to be using those types of words. You want to use very directive action words when you're making a presentation to investors. Because if it is successful, if you actually think that, then I'm out right now. So that's my problem.
Yeah.
Your valuation's too high.
Yeah. You don't have a prototype. How can it be 1.5 million on day one?
I would say that as a consequence, you basically would have to value your initial shareholders' value very, very low and value your investor very high. But although this was a fairly thorough presentation, and I'll pick up on your words about it being product first versus the market pain first, that qualifies it as a very typical VC product, because that's our biggest flaw in British Columbia, is that we're technology oriented, and we spend millions of investors' dollars to find out that it's not about the technology, it's all about the customer.
Yeah, I have no idea what channels you intend to go after here. I was still trying to figure out what's the right channel here. It certainly can't be massage therapists.
No, it wasn't massage therapist. It's sports rehabilitation plus the general consumer, like relaxation, going on with that kind of trend.
Who are you going to partner with? Who you see? I like the presentation, but the names of the big players are very important. If you had said to me, I have a letter of intent from Procter & Gamble or Johnson & Johnson to develop this technology to look at a high-end market for the airline industry, people who are traveling who have, muscle aches. That's very powerful for an investor to look at you and say, yes, this guy has done his primary market research really well, and the money is going to be worth investing into this company. So those are the things you should look for.
Anybody else? Mike? Your cap table's a little messed up. I didn't see any growth after each round. It looked like your equity pool was static. Normally, money comes in and there's an increase in valuation. The share price changes for the next round. It looked like between rounds 2 and 3, you had the same price, as far as I could tell, or very, very close. So that didn't make sense to me.
It was a tranche. It was only the 6 months.
Okay.
And so it was
you didn't actually show the cap table,
Yeah,
but the clues I got thinking, this doesn't look quite right to me. So I didn't see barriers. I didn't see an exit. Outsource experience, you talked about outsourcing. I want to know about the team.
Yeah.
So who there has done that before? Who knows all about it? Who make that happen? Distribution experience. How are you going to? What's your go-to-market strategy? I didn't hear about that in retail product. You've really got to nail that. Just you were saying if you can get a letter of intent or you've got an in somehow, you know how, what the use case is for the use of the product that might back into a go-to-market strategy somehow. In fact, I say most of this about a previous presentation too. What's your go-to-market and how's that back in? If you have a solution in search of a problem, that's a classic thing. Well, you have no use case. You're scrambling to come up with one. Engineers are usually, if they're the entrepreneur, that's usually the first flaw you find. I've got a widget, I don't know what it's for, but it's really cool, right? You should give me money.
So I'll follow up a little bit on what Diane was saying, earlier, and sort of focus on some personal aspects. I hope you won't find it too personal. You're reading off the screen. I'll mention three things. You're reading off the screen. There's an intonation that you have, which is sort of characteristic of some people in your generation, where you rise at the end, which to people from my generation makes you sound like you're uncertain about what you're talking about. So rather than making firm, clear, declarative sentences, your intonation rises at the end. And maybe we don't know, and there was, and you're sort of, well, I mean, you're sort of huddled there behind the screen. What we want to see is, more than anything else, is that you've got confidence. I believe I've got this product, and by God, I'm going to sell 1 billion of them because everybody needs this. And then I got everybody's attention. It's quite different from, sort of mumbling behind the screen there, walking around, not reading the slides, knowing the pitch so well that you don't have to look at the screen, that you can talk to us and make eye contact, intimidate us a little bit, because you know more than we do about this. That's what we want to see.
Good job.